Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Riyad and friends. We are from group REFCO company. We'll talk about the management fraud did by REFCO company. This group consists of me, myself, Muhammad Esam Yasono, and my friend Claudia, Stella Hani, and Tiara Hanifa. And we'll begin the presentation with the timeline. The overview first. Okay, the overview of this presentation. So the REFCO company was formed in 1969. It was a financial service company based on New York. It is for commodities and financial commodities. And when the fraud were revealed, the CEO of REFCO, which is Philip Bennett, was accused for hiding a bad debt in his company in amount of $43 billion. And with his friend, his partner, Mayor Brown, who helped him to hide this debt. And the reckless decision making is giving credit loans to anyone without a proper measurement. Okay, next please. Okay, here's the timeline. Well, in the August 11 in 2005, REFCO makes its initial public offering on the New York Exchange, and shares it with increase 25% to $27.48, and on the first trading. After that, on October 10, 2005, the announcement by SEC that CEO of REFCO, which is Mr. Bennett, hide $430 billion bad debt from investors and auditors. And then in October 12, REFCO CEO Mr. Bennett, he was arrested by the SEC and the federal prosecutors. After that, on October 13, because of lack of liquidity, REFCO company was forced to sell their stock to a group of investors. And October 17, bankruptcy forced REFCO, and then some investor decide to buy this stock. Next.
So I want to talk about the evidence of the case. So first, after the company has sold its first share, after the company has gone IPO, and the accountant searched for the financial statements previously, and then found a huge amount of receivable that is owed by the unnamed entity to the company, and it's very suspicious because it's quite a huge amount. And also, based on the paper filed by the creditors, it is shown that actually Philip Bennett, the CEO, has been doing the same fraud since 2000, and also there is a testimonial from outside consultant, which is Mayor Brown. He has been the external consultant for the company from 1994 to 2005, and he admitted that he helped the company to do the fraud, to conceal the losses, and so he helped the company to hide the loss in the documents that has to be submitted to the SEC for the requirement of the IPO. Next, please. So this is a fraud triangle. So the pressure is because this Philip Bennett, the CEO, is greedy, and he loves to live in style, living lifestyle far beyond their peers. So he bought a lot of luxurious homes, sport cars, and also even a plane. And also very expensive artworks for his houses. And then there are perceived opportunity, which are collusion and then regulation gap. So because Philip Bennett had the help from the third parties for concealing the fraud, so it has become an opportunity for him to do the fraud. and also because he is like have the highest authority, have the high authority in the company, so it is easier for him to do the fraud. And also about the regulation, because the regulation is still loose, not strict enough, so it is also encouraging him to do the fraud. And the last one is the rationalization. So Phil Bennett said that he did the fraud because he think that it is also for the good of the company. Because if the losses were found, then the company cannot go public, and then the company cannot get the fund that it needed. Yes. And next will be explained by my friend.
Here's the red flag. Actually, all the red flags here are already briefly mentioned by the previous two presenters. The first one, the high profit from high price IPO. So first of all, the company actually issued their first share at a relatively way too high of price. And the second red flag is the unusual transaction with hedge fund company. The third one is unreliable financial statement. This one is actually also already mentioned. It's about how the company financial statement is kind of questionable and doubtful. However, there weren't really law enforcement who were eager enough to conduct an investigation, maybe perhaps because it wasn't too obvious at the time. And the next one, extravagant lifestyle of the CEO of REFCO, Philip Bennett. Here's the consequences. The first one is that Philip Bennett is actually jailed for 16 years, also fined. And also the REFCO itself went bankrupt due to how their stock prices actually went down from $28 to $0.8.
So I would like to tell you about the organizational policy that we try to address. So because we know that this company has several internal control deficiencies, which mean that the internal control was still very lacking. So the first one, it would be better for the company to hire more finance staff, since we know that in this company the amount of staff that are hired are very limited. And also we believe that by having a sufficient staff and job rotation, it could help the company to prevent this fraud earlier. And then the second one is about the proper control environment. So we know that this company had set up that tone at the top. Therefore, if the top management itself didn't really implement how to behave ethically, then how do we expect the employees to do ethical behavior? And then the third one is about adequate documentation, which means that by having a proper documentation, then the company will be able to trace every transaction, and the transaction will be transparent enough for the other party. And then the last one is about the proactive auditing. We know that by doing a proactive auditing, it means that the tendency of management to commit fraud will be reduced, since we know that the perceived opportunity will also be reduced. And then next. Now we come to the recommendation toward this fraud. So we think that there are two branches here. The first one is when we are looking at the internal of the company itself. We know that the company are incurring losses due to their inappropriate way of measuring the worthiness of the customer. Therefore, we think that the company would be able to prevent this fraud happening later if they were more stricter in regulating in determining the worthiness of the customer. Therefore, they only give the loans to the most promising customer, so they can assure that the customer would be able to pay back the loan later. And then the second one, when we see from the point of view of regulator, we know that here there is a regulation gap which may which may offer an opportunity for the company to commit to the fraud. Therefore, we think that the SEC itself should be more stricter about the rule, especially regarding the related party transaction, because we know that this company, REFCO, have many subsidiaries. Some of them are regulated and some of them still unregulated. Therefore, these unregulated companies will have no one to control them. Therefore, they will be able to commit fraud. So, I think that's all from our presentation, and thank you for your attention.